everybody, and welcome to the Positively Disney Phone and Show. I'm Kimberly Bouchard, the author of the Positively Disney book series and your host for tonight. I want to welcome all my Facebook streamers, people watching, and my Twitch TV followers. And I want to say hi to those near and far. My husband is on the other side of the world right now, so I wanted to say hello to him as well. I have to thank my sponsor, Michelle McCune, over at Years of Experience. You can reach her at MMCKEOWN at themouseexperts.com, and she will put together a vacation for you that is not only magical, but has some really special extras. She actually provides text assistance while you are away on your vacation. She provides concierge services, and she also specializes with military families and those with special needs. So you can count on Michelle to make sure that everything goes perfectly smoothly on your vacation. Her phone number is 732-735-1779. And I want to welcome Gina, I see, is with me tonight as well. So, of course, the big announcement was made for the Star Wars lands in Disneyland and an early opening in Walt Disney World made on Thursday. And everybody is absolutely over the moon about it because it came on rather quickly. Everybody was expecting the fall for the Walt Disney World opening, but it actually is going to be at the end of August now. So how fortunate is that? I've been very fortunate writing the Star Wars book. I'm so excited and so absolutely grateful for everybody that wants to share their stories. And particularly today, I was on the phone with someone that I never in a million years thought I would be speaking to. So excited to get that story in my book. And, I have been able to speak to some of the artists and Imagineers working on the different Star Wars lands. And, these people have been so excited for Star Wars as they are fans as well. And they just can't believe how fortunate they are to be a part of what they consider making history. The Star Wars lands it's actually making history. And one of the people I was talking to said that they get chills daily, and their favorite thing to do right now is to walk in the land just at sunset to see how the light reflects and lands on everything there. And I can only imagine what that is going to be like. And I almost feel like the first time I visit it, I would love to visit it at sunset. I think it would be so surreal. And these people that work on the Star Wars lands, they also have recognized just the incredible effort by their teams and find it very rewarding because let's face it, guys, this all started with an idea, on 2D black and white paper and ink, and to have it come to fruition is absolutely incredible for them. And they really are excited because not only can they immerse themselves in this world, but of course the guests will immerse themselves in that world that we only saw on a 2D screen. And to actually live and walk and breathe in that world, I think is going to be something absolutely unbelievable. Even they have a hard time describing their feelings walking through the lands right now. So I can only imagine the rest of us when it's all up and going. Want to welcome Tisha and my husband Jacques, who's also, I can see, is on here with me. So I have found, guys, some fun things this weekend, and also thanks to my hubby who got me some of these Star Wars punch drinks. And I've got the Millennium Falcon, I've got Han Solo, I've got a Stormtrooper, and I've got C-3PO. And guys, I want to try one of these tonight while you are on with me. So I'm kind of wondering, who should I drink first? C-3PO, Han, Stormtrooper, or the Millennium Falcon? Guys, tell me your answers. Write in your answers and let me know which one I should try live. I have no idea what this is going to taste like, and I thought I'd wait till I was podcasting tonight So, Tisha, I know you want one so bad. Tisha or Gina, can you recommend which one I should try first live, and I'll give it a step. Anyways, another thing that I encountered is these really, really cute they're lip smackers. They actually have flavors to them. This is the cinnamon bun one, and I thought it was so cute with little Princess Leia. And I thought I was going to just give it a little test and see what oh, it is pretty cinnamony actually. So very well named, of course, cinnamon bun. And then I've got my stormtrooper here, which is really cute, and they're stackable. They're so fun. I just happened to see those in Target the other day. You can. Cindy is asking, where do you get them? I found them just in Target in the makeup section, and this one is called the ice cream clone. A very clever name. Well, it smells like an ice cream cone, so I'm gonna just give that a try. And oh, ooh, I actually like that one. It's not as biting as the cinnamon, or maybe it's just the two together. So you guys, if you want them, you can get them. And isn't that funny? They think of everything. You can actually stack them up and display them if you want. So the first person that said, let's see, Millennium Falcon, and then another one said Hans. So I think because the first answer was Millennium Falcon, I'm going to open this up. I hope it doesn't spray everywhere. My husband found these for me when he was out and about, and left them on my desk as a little surprise for me. So, well, smells a little interesting. Let me try. Oh, it's not too bad, actually. It kind of smelled like sort of like a cough syrup at first. I wasn't too sure about it, but it actually tastes it tastes not too bad, actually. So, there you have it, guys. Space Punch. Anyways, I am so excited about this week, and I'll tell you a little bit more as we get on with the show. But what is really kind of amazing? So the word droid actually was trademarked by George Lucasfilm, and I was trying to think what compares to our day and age now. I mean, we're talking years later in real life robots. Like, how close are they to reality? And RX-24 is the pilot in Star Tours. I don't know if you knew about his name. And he is, he takes the ship and we go on our journey in that. But did you know that there's actually something called the PiBot? And it's a tech development company in South Korea that it actually is like a humanoid robot that it's programmed to fly a plane, and it's the visual sensors and the GPS location, it's actually designed to fly a plane. Now, I'm not sure if that's totally like an autopilot. I don't think it is, because they do say that it is like a humanoid robot. So is that kind of wild to think that we've got something like that compared to the RX-24? I can't even imagine that. Something else that is very interesting, that is kind of a subcategory of that, is the artificial intelligence used in self-driving cars. Like, self-driving cars, Tesla, we know, Mercedes is on there, Waymo, but with the Google car, and there's a whole bunch of cars that are self-driving. I mean, it's not like you can go to sleep and read a book and have this car drive for you, but I think that's absolutely a wild concept. And I'm just curious, would any of you guys like to just depend on a car driving for you? I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure how I would feel about that. But because I don't know how quick a reaction would be if somebody, cuts in front of you. Is it quicker? Is the computer actually quicker? The intelligence in that car, is it actually quicker than our than human reaction? I don't know. What's your take on that, you guys? So I was talking about last week that we were on. I was podcasting as if we were on Hoth when it was pretty chilly in my podcast room. And if anybody remembers The Empire Strikes Back, And I think they're creepy, to be honest with you. Those the Viper series probes that land on Hoth, looking for the base. And when that drone discovers a generator, of course, everybody has to flee. Princess Leia, everybody has to flee because these guys are, going to annihilate them. But did you know that it's very similar to a lot of things that we have for drones in both commercial and military? Now, years ago, when I mean, there was probably always something in the making that we wouldn't have known about. But to think about the Empire Strikes Back and think about those drones and different droids that they were creating, and how in our day and age in 2019, a lot of these are reality. And something that is really interesting is there is a drone, there are drones that they actually do have artificial intelligence for landing, for tracking. They actually can they're really good for search. They use them in search and rescue to determine sort of patterns that people and probabilities of people hiking, like if they're lost and they're trying to find them. They also determine patterns of people, what they would do. So I think that's incredible. Like having artificial intelligence read the patterns of us human beings to help rescue somebody in a bad situation, that just blows me away, the capacity of the drones. Anyways, Tish was just oh, Tish, we were talking about the Hoth, and she has talking about Hoth in another context. But I don't know, how do you guys feel about like the all the AI and the robotic things going on? I'm not too sure. It's a little bit fascinating, but also scary. It's like how far is too far? So of course, we have our lovely C3PO. I love C3PO for so many reasons because he kind of tells it as it is. And he's called C3PO, but he is known as a protocol droid in the Star Wars scheme of things and Lucasfilm and stuff. And something that is really fascinating is Honda actually has a a bi pedal, I guess, humanoid robot called Asimo. And I actually, with my kids, saw this being demonstrated in Tomorrowland in Disneyland a few years ago. And something that is so amazing about that robot, and I just think, wow, that robot can actually it can I was going to call him a he. It physically responds to our actions, to our voices, to our facial expressions. It reads our facial expressions, and it can figure out if we're kind of angry or upset or happy or excited. And it also it gestures, and it plays soccer, and it walks like a human. And we were so fascinated by that. We just kind of thought that was just I don't know, just like a demonstration of it, but it's real and they use it, and it's just absolutely phenomenal. Like that is kind of our, it's not C3PO by any means, but it's kind of on its way to becoming something like a C3PO. Cindy says on the planet B2 it will be awesome, but I don't like it too much on Earth. We still need human reflexes in driving. Oh, referring to the cars. Yeah, I'm having a little trouble reading this. I got to just move this over a little bit. But yeah, yeah. So self-driving anything in Star Wars, it seems like it's much safer, and it seems, of course, much easier to command, and it seems like it's, we they got all the glitches out of it. But yeah, on Earth, I think that I would still need human reflexes for driving as well. And big welcome to Donna Joe. Thanks, Donna, for joining me tonight. So all these robots are very real, and they're used in a lot of things. I mean, we've got medical bots that assist in surgeries and things of that nature. And like these, they're constantly growing. This is constantly growing. And when you think about, you just have to think about it to be able to create it, because it's our human natural desire to create things, make things, isn't it? And if we dream it, we can do it, as Walt said, can't we? Um, there's something else that I kind of call it a fake droid. Um, so in Japan, they actually have these two droids. One is Autonoroid and her sister, Kodomoroid. Now, they are in the National Museum of Emergent Science and Innovation. And something that is kind of neat about this is the Autonoroid actually converses with visitors. So it's an android that converses with visitors. And I don't know if you guys have Fire TV, but I kind of tend to argue with Alexa because it's really annoying sometimes when she doesn't follow my directions, or I have to follow them in her order. So it's I think it's kind of along those lines. And maybe I shouldn't call it a fake droid, but it is kind of, I think, programmed a certain way, of course, to follow human conversation and stuff like that. So I think that'd be kind of a real kick if I get to Tokyo in the near future when I go to see the the Disneyland in Tokyo Disneyland. I would love to stop by there to see this robot. I find it fascinating technology. But and her sister, the sister Kodomoroid, she basically reads the news and just kind of talk, just as a stationary kind of thing that reads the news, the world news. And that is sort of a human mouthpiece attached to it, so it's a human reading the news and such. So I call that like a fake droid, but it's the same kind of principle behind Crush and Turtle Talk at Epcot, as well as on the cruise ships when you go into Animator's Palette and Crush is on the wall interacting with you. That is a human doing that, as well as, I'm trying to think of another one in Tomorrowland. You've got oh, I'm trying to think, the attraction in Tomorrowland where you get the laugh floor, Mike Wazowski. It's kind of the same idea. Although, I mean, it's more of an image on the screen and that, but the same kind of idea is there in a two-dimensional format. But it's just fascinating that some of these droids from Star Wars are becoming a reality. And I don't know if you guys grew up with the Flintstones and the Jetsons and all that, but I used to laugh. I thought the Jetsons was a hoot. And I'm thinking maybe we're heading that direction. And I thought, wow, the thing that really grabbed my attention on the Jetsons was when they would be packing for a vacation, and there's all these clothes that could go in, and then somehow compressed into this little micro-sized suitcase. I'm thinking that's a technology I need. Wouldn't that be great for traveling? You bring everything and then have it micro size. But anyways, what do you guys think about this? What do you think about these robots of ours? Are you kind of into that? Are you looking forward to the future for that? I'm really amazed at the mind of George Lucas in his creation of these droids, and now we have similar things like that, and we continue heading that direction. Well, I have to say that I'm pretty excited about this week. As I said, there's a couple things, and I'm going to be doing a short podcast tonight because I'm doing part two of an interview with someone for the book. I did a first part this morning, and I've got to do a second part after the podcast. But I am actually going to go to my first Comic Con, and I'm really excited about that. I don't know why I never went before. I just, I don't know, but maybe I was busy doing something else. Now that my kids are in university and doing other things, I have a little bit more time on my hands or whatever. But I'm very interested in meeting a couple of the Star Wars actors that are going to be there at the Emerald City Comic Con in Seattle this week. And before I go on, I want to welcome Kate to the show. Anybody that's joining late, you can check it out after when we, upload the recording. But anyways, at this Comic-Con, we've got Gwendolyn Christie, and I don't know if you know her, but she's a very famous actress. She's very tall, very beautiful, 6'3", and she has quite a story behind her. And I hope to say hello to her at the convention. And I also am going to say hi to James Arnold Taylor, who is an incredible voice actor with an incredible life story, and looking forward to saying hello to him as well. He is the voice of Obi-Wan in the Clone Wars, and he also wears many voices in Rogue One and The Last Jedi. And I'm not positive what all the voices that he voiced, because he does do other things besides Star Wars, but he's just an incredible voice actor. So I'm really looking forward to that. Cindy, I'm going to the Emerald City Comic Con in Seattle, and I actually hope to go to the one in Utah, where the Fan X, Tisha is on here, and see Fan X folks in September. I'm really hoping. Cindy says, I actually worked at the Star Wars Celebration, which is the MegaCon of Star Wars 2 years ago. It was amazing. You know what, Cindy? This sounds really bad, but I didn't even know about Celebration until just this year when I started writing the book, and I've just fallen in love with this community. And I wish I would have known sooner. I wish I would have known sooner that I was going to write the book, the Star Wars edition too. But I do hope to go to Celebration next time, because I think there's like almost 50 of the Star Wars actors that are going to be there. And it takes place over several days, I believe, Cindy, if I'm not mistaken. I do know a lot of people going to that one. It's in Chicago in April. And I just think that would be absolutely amazing to go. But something that I'm excited about is I actually bought something for myself to wear. I don't do cosplay or anything like that. And I'm going as a professional there, author. So, but I wanted to share with you tonight what arrived today. And I have this leather jacket. It was from Finn from The Force Awakens, and as you know, Finn was trained as a stormtrooper, and he then moved to the Resistance. And I just really fell in love with that jacket, and thank goodness it fit, because I don't have time to return it. It came from really far away. I don't even know where it came from, but it was not in North America. But anyway, so I'm looking forward to wearing my leather jacket, and it's still pretty chilly here, so that should kind of go well with things. I don't know if you guys want to call in with a quick tale or two, but the number to call is 844-483-4763, and we are going to be keeping it a little bit short because I've got this additional interview. But I do have a couple of other things I want to share with you. I want to say hi to as I said, all our Twitch followers. I see there's a couple up there right now, and of course your name isn't showing up. You guys give yourselves different names, so that's all good. So Cindy, I just want to comment. She's saying her job was to escort the VIP people to their seats. I was a few rows from the entire cast: Mark Hamill, George Lucas, Harrison Ford, and the new cast. I will never forget it. Cindy, that is amazing. I want to talk to you. I want to find out what it was like, and how that went. My gosh, to be right there with all those folks is absolutely amazing. Good for you. I'm sure that is one of the most memorable experiences of your life. It would be for me anyways. So I'm thinking it would be for you, Cindy, as well. That is so amazing. And George, from his colleagues, I hear he's just such a wonderful, humble man. And Mark, as well, from folks I've been talking to that have met him, really lovely man as well. I can't imagine that. I think I would be pretty awestruck about all of those folks. Something I wanted to share with you as well, and I think it's just a hoot and a half, but I've said before that I've actually got a cookbook collection from around the world. And just before I go on, I'm going to have another swish of my space punch. Now, those are energy drinks. I have no idea what that's going to do. I don't know if I dare finish the whole thing. I might be up till 3 or 4 in the morning. But anyways, it's pretty yummy. So I got this Star Wars cookbook, and it is the cutest book ever. And if you want to have, I don't know if you can see that, and it's got some really fun recipes. Padme, pad thai. They even have a little Darth Maul that you can sprinkle icing sugar if you want to have a chocolate cake or something, or chocolate powder underneath, whatever, something like that. But they have all kinds of like drinks and protocol droid pasta. So we've got C3PO, protocol droid, just talking about him, and a Darth Maul dip, and just a few other things. One thing that I thought would be really fun is, you've got those little tubes of you can do bread dough or cookies or whatever, and they actually had, oh, now I probably can't find it, but it actually had the Star Wars written out with the letters using the tube of that kind of bread dough. And I've got to show it to you because it's really actually quite fun. And the fact that they add some of the little teeny figurines is really quite fun as well. But look at this, Darth Double Dogs. How fun is that? It's just that like rolled dough with a couple of hot dogs on the end. And I wanted to share with you one more thing, but I might not be able to find it now. I thought it would. Oh yeah, here it is. They're actually pretzels, but I would do it out of dough because that would probably be easiest. But look at that. You could actually make Star Wars out of that and serve them as pretzels. So if anybody wants to have a Star Wars party before you go out and see episode 9, or just if you want to have a Star Wars theme happening. I have one other thing to share with you because I love Disney. I love Disney for everything that the people do for you. Cast members in the forefront, the background, and even sometimes the guests themselves. But I want to share with you, a couple of years ago, we were on a Disney cruise and I was running a 5K. And of course, you're one of the first ones off the ship, and they have all the cooler bags out on Castaway Cay, Disney's private island, ahead of time. Well, they had this Star Wars one out there, and I just fell in love with that. And it's perfect. It's just a little cooler size, big enough to hold a lunch, and but small enough to not take up too much room. So the story behind this, I didn't end up getting it in the normal way you would get it. So what they had is they typically have water bottles out there for you in coolers. And I said, I'll have to come back, because I thought, what am I going to do with a cooler bag full of water bottles while I'm running this 5K? So I thought, well, I'll just run the 5K and they'll come back. Well, by the time I was finished running the event and went to go back on the ship to get changed in swimsuit and all of them were gone. I was just choked. I was like, oh my gosh. I was so close to getting my Star Wars cooler bag. And plus I needed to get another cooler bag because our Disney Cruise Line cooler bag had, kind of died on us a few years prior to that. Anyway, so I go on the ship and go to the guest services and asked if they might have one of the cooler bags. And they said, oh, I'm really sorry. We don't, but we have, a frozen one. Well, I didn't want a frozen one. I wanted the Star Wars one. So I thought, that's okay. She was going to try her best to look around, but kind of found that they didn't have one. Anyways, I ended up, going back to the room, changed, went down to do some other things. And what happened when I returned to the room was, first I got a phone call that they did find one. And so I beeline back down to guest services, and they found one somewhere in some cupboard, like the last of whatever. So I was very grateful for that. But what was really cool is they felt really bad that they kind of set me on a bit of a wild goose chase. And so what happened is when I finally returned to my room again, to my stateroom again, there was this big cellophane, not a basket, but it was cellophane popcorn and some of the the Mickey crispy bars and a few other things in this, like, treats all wrapped up, and a really, really nice note that said, apologize for having me, think that they didn't have one and run around and all of that. And I thought that was just so nice. So this little cooler bag, I kind of got the best of both worlds, because I got the cooler bag and I got a whole whackload of Disney treats to share with the family that day as well. So that's really, it's just a little thing that happened, and just really appreciated it. Anyways, guys, I don't know if anybody on here is going to the Emerald City Comic Con. I'm going to be there all day Thursday for sure. I'm not 110% positive. I will be there the other days, but I will be there on Thursday. And if you're around, maybe we will run into each other. For now, I want to wish everybody a wonderful rest of your week. Have a great St. Patrick's Day on March 17th. And we will be back next week. I have a very special guest coming on board next week. Marcy is a Disney author of Eat Like Walt. That is the title of her book. She's got some recipes of Walt's, and she's going to share a little bit of the history of some of the food that you will find in the parks, which is really awesome. She's a lovely gal from California. And I look forward to having her as my guest next week, and hope you can join me next week as well. So for now, good night. Take care. Have a safe and blessed week. Bye for now.